So, we've spent this week talking about the perfect survivor myth, but what if we have been looking at it all wrong? What if the imperfect choices we made, the ones we carry so much shame about, weren't failures at all? What if our nervous systems knew exactly what to do to keep us alive, even when our conscious minds didn't? Now, I, all of which is to say, how I survived was perfectly imperfect. It kept me alive. At the end of the day, the combination of every choice I've made, of all the thoughts and beliefs and the shame of it all, it kept me alive. I am here breathing. There is breath in my lungs, and I'm here to share this message with you today because of how perfectly imperfect my surviving was. If this is not only that I this is something else I want to say because carried so much shame about leaving and going back. However, not however, and this is the reframe, the opportunity. If we know, if we know that leaving is the most dangerous time in an abusive relationship, why are we judging survivors for not leaving when we think they should? Why? What if, what if their nervous systems have the wisdom to know what will keep them alive? Even if that knowing was invisible to the naked eye and even to themselves. And, I have to say, just looking at my journey and all the loss that I experienced in that, the amount of surrender that I had to engage in for peace because life in the universe brought me to my needs. This, despite all of that, in this journey, I eventually found myself. And not only that, I found the unmistakable truth of who I am. And that is beautiful. Like it feels so fucking juicy to know that and be grounded and centered in that. In spite of all the loss and surrender, I uncovered and returned to my true self. And in spite of all the loss and surrender, I have, I would say rebuilt, but I am rebuilding in real time, y'all. My life from the ground up. Yes, from the ground up. And it's with such a strong, unshakable foundation that actually centers my needs and my true desires. There's no shortcuts or corners in my blueprint or in the materials I'm using for the foundation of my rebuilding my life be out of there's none of that. There are no shortcuts that come out of fear that I'm a burden or a worry that I'm causing harm by just existing. There's none of that bullshit. Not only that, I feel so grateful that I get to rebuild my life consciously with agency and most importantly, with complete honesty with myself about the resources and conditions I need to pursue, access, and live out my true desires. I'm not looking at the accumulation of what I need and saying, "Ooh, that's too much. Oh, that's taking from somebody. Oh, that's not okay if this isn't true in the world." Nuh-uh, fuck that shit. I know I am being honest about what I need, and I'm not categorizing anything as being superfluous or extravagant or none of that. I'm just like letting it be there and soothing myself through the discomfort of, yes, this is what I need to exist in this world and have joy and be fulfilled and give my gifts back to the world. It's just what I need. It is what it is. And the beauty about having that level of honesty with myself about it is I get to, it allows me to measure the things in my life in a more accurate way. Like I'm in a more real talk place of an understanding of, are the things that I'm pursuing, are the spaces that I'm in, are the people that I'm engaging with, are they helping me get to what I desire? Or will they keep me in this hamster wheel? Will I always fall short? And having that self-knowledge just gives me the courage to do a new thing and to truly be in alignment with what it takes to bring my desire into fruition in this world. And I, not only that, despite the loss and surrender that I've experienced, I build my blueprint. I get to everything. I'm evaluating every belief, thought, value, and goal, and I get to decide on each and every single one. I get to choose what I believe in. I get to choose what thoughts take up space in my head. I get to choose what my values are. I get to choose what my goals are. Everything that has been evaluated, there's none of this sneak shit of things that were handed to me because I'm supposed to. None of that. The law in the rock bottom of it all, of the loss and surrender and the sheer determination to just not do this shit again. I I I just found in the space of that, I was like, all right, I'm here. I'm going to do this right. I'm not doing this whole rebuilding from the ground up again. And because of that, I just have the patience and sort of the ease to like take my time and be honest with myself about what is really a part of this. What do I really want to be a part of my life as a foundation? And that's why I just have to say, no matter what your story looked like, and no matter how you got to this point of watching this video or this series, because yes, that is a gift to yourself you've given yourself. Your story, in all of its imperfect detail, is a blueprint of your own wisdom. This is a core part of the messy healing journey I discussed in my full episode last Friday. To get the full context, I highly recommend watching that video. And I would love to know, what is one way you are learning to honor your own survival wisdom? Let's build this conversation in the comments.